Yeah.
And ultimately, I believe the more speed you create, the more actually simple it becomes. You know, if you think about it, if I'm taking it over here and here, that's not going to be able to go as fast as if I take it here and here. And so these stations start to help you find some of these, sequencing and swing playing and these things that are big things to try to teach people. Let's do it organically.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm with Sean Cox at the Grand Golf Club in San Diego. Hey Sean.
Hey.
So we're entering your lab, or kind of where you do your business.
Okay.
What is this? I see, like, it's not like a normal driving range. It's set up a little differently.
So I've taught juniors since about 25 years now. And a lot of people talk about movement patterns, how like a soccer kick is good for, your sequencing, getting your hips through.
Yeah, they'll show like parts and pieces of other sports.
Yeah.
And related to golf. Yeah.
But I've watched and taught and seen other great instructors, and there's so much, like a station with a super speed, okay? Something that Mike Bednar showed me about 3 years ago to work on, trail arm in the transition. So what I wanted to do is like teach people without using so many words. Now in the beginning, today I'm going to have to explain these things to you, but after you do it once or twice and you go through the stations, basically you're just working on proper motion for a golf swing. I think there's nothing controversial in any of these stations. It's not a swing method. It's not, Sean's going to teach me, this method or that method. I'm going to teach you athletics.
Okay.
And so we're going to go through these stations. Now, one part that's going to be a little different, I don't know how much you've done left-handed, but I'm going to have you do left-handed as well. Now, the reason for that is it's a little bit of a brain game.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to try to figure out like how to do these exercises left-handed. But I'm doing that because, number one, the fitness world, they're going to tell you you want to develop both sides of your body. But I'm actually doing it more for the mental side, because when you have to go through the learning process again of figuring out how to do something the opposite direction, you're going back to that stage in life when you're trying to like go from crawling to walking again. And I think that's going to help you go back to your right-handed swing.
Okay, we'll talk more about it as we do it, but I think the best way to show it is to do it. So
okay, so you're already warmed up. We're going to start right here.
Okay.
So super speed usually is knees, standing, and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
So this is just going to be on your knees.
Okay.
So go ahead and get on your knees. And so this is going to develop upper body speed. So I want you to give me 5 as hard as you can, right-handed.
Okay.
Swings.
Yep.
Okay, so now give yourself maybe about 5 to 10 seconds. And now you're going to do left-handed 5 as hard as you can.
Okay. This reminds me, back when I was doing super speed stuff a lot, I had to get a mouthpiece. But I grit my teeth so damn hard when I try to do it.
You got some speed. Beautiful. That's good. Perfect. Done. So now we're going to go to the next station. So some of these stations you're going to use your own club.
Okay.
Because, and some of these you're going to have a training aid. So this station, I've got 2 sizes depending on the size of the person. This is usually for young juniors. This is for adults. So now this is going to help you, because when we did our little video on random golf, we saw a little bit of looseness in your swing, and maybe that you needed to sync it up.
Okay.
So give me 5 practice swings, but you got to hold your finish.
Okay. Air swings is good, right?
Yep. Good. Let's just cut it off at 3 for time. Let's go left-handed. Now most people are like, oh my gosh, it's a right-handed club. Well, you just use your right-handed club and just,
figure it out.
Figure it out. So now you're figuring out a grip. Most people don't even know to put the correct hand on the bottom. And try to get all the way through facing your target. Good. Beautiful. One more. Beautiful.
And hold the finish. Yeah.
Yep, perfect. Modern days, who does everybody talk about driving the golf ball?
Cameron Champ.
And this guy about this tall, he hits it like 330 in the air.
Rory.
Yeah. Okay. Look up Steve Bannon, coached him. What did you tell him as a kid? Swing as hard as you can, but you have to hold your finish.
Okay.
So this is one of those, speed deals, but it doesn't have the ball on it, so it's super light. So I want you to go, without hitting the ground, I want you to go as fast as you can. And then I want you to look like Rory McIlroy at the end.
Okay. So this should be more speed than I'm used to because this is
super light.
Yep.
Now stay there just like Rory would on. He's got no recoil. Just leave those arms there just like Rory.
Stick to finish.
Yeah, give me 2 more. Good. 1 more. Good. So now we just like pushed you to a speed that your body's not comfortable usually with. Now flip it around and do it left-handed.
Okay. Now, as I do this, tells you you used to be a lefty golfer and now you're a righty golfer? Or
Other way. I was a right-handed golfer, became a PGA member, was in the business for 7 years, but every time I hit a ball left-handed, my friend said I had a better looking left-handed swing. Well, the reason for that is I'm actually was a left-handed baseball player.
Oh, okay.
And I should have played golf left-handed, but it wasn't really an option. When I was a kid, my grandpa bought me right-handed clubs.
Equipment-wise, yeah.
And so I made the conversion. And the cool part is, the first time I went to TPI, I had them do my kinematic sequence right-handed and left-handed, and my kinematic sequence was correct left-handed, whereas my right-handed swing, I started with my upper body.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So this thing, you got to work a little bit on eBay to find this one. It's called a Swing Setter by David Ledbetter. My guess is you have discovered that backswings aren't slow. Mm-hmm. You never hear me when I teach tell somebody to take it back slow.
Right.
Okay? Slow is not a good thing. Slow to slow doesn't hit it anywhere.
Right.
Most people take it back slow, then get real quick in the transition, and then they hit it everywhere.
Yeah.
So good players looks like they're in rhythm. So this, in order to make the first clack happen, you have to have enough speed, so it's 2 clicks. It's adjustable depending on your club head speed, but I want you to go boom, boom. And so this gets some of my juniors and some of my adults to kind of get comfortable taking it back a little faster than they're used to.
Yep.
And you'll hear me emphasize hold the finish, hold the finish.
Okay.
And the reason for that is it's not just for, proprioception, it's for time for the brain to kind of go through everything that happened and save that. 1 more. Good. Beautiful. Now do it left-handed.
Okay. I don't know if I have enough lefty backswing force to unclick this thing. We'll see.
Good. That was great. Now, this thing's been around for forever. I don't think it needs much of an explanation.
Okay.
Now, hold your finish, though. Get all the way through it and come all the way through to the full finish and hold it there. Mm-hmm. So just give me 3 right-handed, 3 left-handed. The reason there's a small...
Do you like to stop?
You could...
Like, you still want me to hold my finish?
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Because you've got to keep all this rotating to get that all the way over there. Most people stop about 3/4 of the way through and don't realize they're making a full turn. Good. 2 more. Good. 1 more. Good. Now let's go lefty. Good.
So kids, once they do it, you'll just be like, okay, go do your...
So what I'll do is I'll stand in the middle here, and I'll kind of give them little talent code, like, little things. If you remember when you looked at the talent code book, when they had, the famous basketball coach from UCLA, John Wooden, he didn't give big speeches. He gave appropriate feedback to each individual. He would bark out little things that pertain. So if you were over here and you didn't hold your finish long enough, I'd go, hey, Brendan, hold your finish.
Yeah.
And then some kid over there, you're not turning.
Okay.
Hey, you need to swing faster.
Yeah.
And I'll just kind of watch them, and they'll go around in a circle. So now, it's hard to teach kind of like being centered in the golf swing. I know there's a little bump off the ball, But we got so many students that are moving all around and swaying. Well, this orange peel is great for kind of feeling that centeredness because the feet are turned in like this. Now, you could do many different things with this. You could just practice rotation, but what I like to do is just get in here and have the kids go for speed. And with this, they're not going to be moving around too much because they're going to feel in their feet. They're going to feel where they need to be centered. So now, just give me speed here. So as you're noticing, a lot of these stations, it's about speed, right? And so this is what I would call the best dynamic warm-up you can have, is because now we're going to all these stations, most of them working on speed.
And that thing will pull you into a finish whether you want it or not.
That little chain thing came from the Mach 3 people.
Yeah.
So you got Mach 3, you got super speed, you got, all these different concepts out there. And what I did is I put my all-star cast of training aids into a circuit. But my thing is, how much words can these kids handle?
Yeah,
you start telling them, you need to do this with your hips, or you need to do this with your shoulder turn, or in the transition you need to flex your wrist or whatever. That's way too much information, and this is a group class. It's not an individual. So now, Mark Sheftek came out with this board, and this is very, very popular, to try to get people on their lead side.
Okay.
Now, the other thing, this came out, this teaches how to get, basically, I call it the motorcycle drill. You get the flexion in the lead wrist and the transition. So before I would have the kids kind of swing the club on this, but the reality is I'm trying to teach them kind of two things at once in the transition. I'm trying to get them to transfer their weight into the front side, but I'm also trying to get them to get the flexion in the wrist. I'm getting over to my lead side while I'm getting the wrist pattern. And most of the kids, they want to go through like this, or they're worried about the popping noise. I tell them, don't worry about the popping noise. This is all about slow motion. I'm here, and I want you to feel the timing of getting over there and then feeling that position there. Have you seen this training aid before?
Yeah, I've done some videos with Marty.
So, I mean, the crazy part is you shot videos with most of these people that have these training aids. And so now get to the top of your swing and then feel that ground force in while you're doing that pattern, right? So now look at that. You're accomplishing two things at once here, while I would say not being that complicated. And the other thing, because it's a little bit of an over-exaggeration, if you were to do this with your golf club in your hand, the ball would probably fly some crazy direction.
Yeah.
And then
you'd stop doing it.
You stop doing it. See, we haven't hit any balls here. And basically what we've done is got you to practice the motor patterns without worrying about result of where the ball went, right? A little different.
Oh, where's my wrist? There's my wrist.
Yeah. So now just do what I said. Just kind of come down to impact and stop and hold there. Yep, good.
Okay, so on to our final
station,
station,
which is the rope. Now, Quan, likes to use ropes. See a lot of that. I, tried it, going to Home Depot, but I found that E.A. Tischler makes these ropes in different sizes. This is the medium size one. The beautiful part about this is obviously it's going to help you with sequencing. Now, it only is going to work sequencing wise if you make a full shoulder turn. A lot of people do it where they kind of just swing their arms. You need to make a full back swing turn and all the way through.
Okay.
Now, the cool part is, if you notice, it's hitting me right at the top of my shoulders. You can see that looks like a pretty good swing plane.
Oh yeah.
If you're getting a little bit too much up here, or you're too flat, you're going to basically kind of whack yourself, and it's not going to be fun. So you're going to make the thing hit your shoulders, swing back, swing through. You can try to leave it on your back a little longer to create a little bit more, lag, so to speak.
Okay. Get a little flow going.
And just do it in one constant motion. Just go back and through. That's beautiful. You can tell you've spent a lot of time working on speed and body motion. You get some great body into this.
Yeah, I can tell.
But-
I don't do this lefty stuff enough.
But look at you. You're going back to that learning process, trying to figure it out. Beautiful.
Well, one motion a little more.
Yeah.
That was great, Sean. Thank you. Appreciate that. The workout was intense.
The great part of a lot of this is sound. You know, if I swing this slowly, it doesn't make any sound. But as it starts to speed up, so you're getting
the LC1 too. When you creaks, you can
So you're getting so much feedback by your ears. And the number one problem we have is if you try to teach somebody a motion while they're hitting balls, they're going to hit a shot that's not great. And everybody in our industry says, don't worry about that, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
but it's hard for the student to make changes when they see something ball flight wise that doesn't look very good.
Right.
So I can basically teach them these motor patterns without worrying about where the ball went.
Yeah, yeah.
And ultimately, I believe the more speed you create, the more actually simple it becomes. You know, if you think about it, if I'm taking it over here and here, that's not going to be able to go as fast as if I take it here and here. And so these stations start to help you find some of these, sequencing and swing playing and these things that are big things to try to teach people. Let's do it organically.
Yeah. So not just juniors, but I think everybody could, especially as you get into like the YouTube world of golf and you're really getting into the details of, how things are happening. This can get us a lot more athletic and think about it. All right. Do you have your phone on you?
I do.
Great. So Sean has this app called Random Golf Practice. I really like a lot for bringing your game to the course. So pull up a random shot here.
Okay.
We'll see how warmed up I am, and whatever it says, I'm gonna then hit that shot right now.
Okay. So we are going to go, let's go 184, which was the yellow flag on the left. And let's go back up there.
Okay.
And let's do it.
All right,
We forgot to look for.
Oh, I got to look at the picture.
Yeah.
Very important.
So here's the picture.
That's great. Oh, that's really cool. Okay. So I got room to the left, and long right is okay too, right?
Yeah. You just don't want to be short left.
Right. Well, I don't want to hear what I don't want to do the last thing.
Yeah.
So what do I want to do?
You want to be pin high left.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. Okay. The club feels a little weird. There it is. Oh, perfect.
What a shot.
Talk about pin high left. Go. Okay. Fell out of the air a little bit. I'll be putting from the front towards it. Yeah.
And then also wind started picking up. It just picked up.
Yeah.
But you hit a perfect shot.
Uh-huh.
And sounded perfect.
Yeah, I felt much more, after all this stuff, I felt much more in balance. Sometimes I fight myself or other things. The interesting thing, because some teachers will tell me, well, a drill to one person could be medicine for one person and poison for the other person. But these things can seem like they wouldn't really hurt anybody to do all this stuff. It's like, they're not things that it's like wrong to practice or something like that.
How can swinging hard and holding your finish like Rory McIlroy hurt you?
Okay.
But nobody does it.
Yeah.
Nobody gets out the super speed, or nobody gets out the little light shaft and swings it as hard as they can, and then sticks to finish like Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I just increased your threshold for speed.
Yep.
So then when you go back and you maybe swing 90% or whatever we say is like that comfortable speed where you're not trying to kill it, that is going to go up a little bit because you just increased your maximum.
So you guys can find out more about Sean's great app that we talked about in a different video called Random Golf Practice on the App Store. And I think, Sean, we might organize some kind of special thing, a special kind of link to go through for Be Better Golf. But just search Random Golf Practice on the App Store and you'll see it there. Or contact Sean at SeanCoxPGA@gmail.com. That's it, right?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, see you. Bye.
See ya.